نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will start and hopefully finish Surah Al-Kauthar, the shortest surah in the Quran. And this is the surah, I guess, all of us take full advantage of, I think, reading in the prayer because this is the shortest. So let's do Inna A'tainaka Al-Kauthar in the first rakah and Qul Huwallahu Ahad in the next rakah, and that's it. We're done, right? So, okay. So this is the shortest, but it's a very, very powerful surah. We can get a lot of lessons that we learn from this surah, a lot of things to learn from, to think about. So before we go into the word-to-word translation, a little background of this surah. Amiral, I can answer this question maybe. Your mom knows where to get the notebook, okay? She knows that. So what we were talking about was this surah, a little background about this surah. This surah was revealed when Prophet Muhammad SAW was having a very hard time. He was going through a period of sadness. And the reason for the period of sadness was that his son, Abdullah, passed away. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, took away Prophet Muhammad's son. And, it's a very, very, it's said that losing a child is one of the greatest calamities somebody can ever, have. It's extremely painful when somebody loses a child. And Prophet ﷺ went through that. While he was going through that, people of Quraysh, and especially his uncle that we talked about, Abu Lahab, when he heard that, and he used to live right next door, right? So when he heard that, he started rejoicing. He was very, very happy about it. Why was he happy? One, of course, he was happy about Prophet Muhammad's pain, but the other thing which he was really happy about was that Prophet Muhammad does not have a son anymore. Now he only has daughters. He does not have a son. So what he was and other people of Quraysh were rejoicing, and they were saying, Batara Muhammad, means Muhammad has no lineage anymore. Yay! That's what they were happy about. Now, why does that matter so much? I mean, why does this thing be so, being so happy about that somebody does not have a son anymore? Can anyone think about it? Yes, Ahmed?
I think it has, I'm not sure, but I think it has something to do with leadership.
Okay, yeah, that's very good answer. Yes.
The close.
Yeah, that's very thoughtful, because that's what leaders they have. Okay, when I will be not there, then my son will become the leader, right? And then then his son, and then his son. So the leadership will stay in our family. Yes, Shees or Alisha?
So he was probably glad because first of all, he didn't agree with the teachings. So he's like, I was his lineage would die on soon enough.
Exactly. So that's what mattered a lot. I mean, it still matters a lot with people that, our lineage will continue, and, they will be our name takers. That's what people say a lot of time. There will be somebody who's going to take our names. And don't know why this is so important, but yeah, that's what a lot of people really care about, that my lineage is going to continue and my family name is going to continue and stuff like that. So that's what those people are very happy about. And why particularly happy about Prophet Muhammad not having a son and his lineage not continuing is what Ahmad said was about the leadership, because Prophet Muhammad was the leader. He was the prophet. So unless that, I mean, that's what their mind were. They were like narrow-minded people, right? Their thought could just go just little bit. So that's what they had in their mind, that, oh, if Prophet ﷺ does not have a son, then daughters are not going to spread Islam. Only son does. So son is not there. So that means Islam is gone. Islam is finished. So we get rid of this, right? Okay. Yes, Riz?
But didn't he have Abu Bakr as well? Like, couldn't he have also, been the leader?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. So that's
It
the
didn't
thing.
just have to be his lineage. It could be
Yeah.
anybody who supported Islam.
Yes. So that's the custom that Islam broke. Because, as we know that who were the custodians of Kaaba? Quraysh, right? Nobody else. So the Quraysh, the one leader of Quraysh will pass it on to his son and then their son and then their son. And that's how in their mind, the leadership worked. They just couldn't think of the way that, okay, if he does not have a son, then he can pass on to somebody else as well. It doesn't have to be son. So that's why I said that their thought was extremely limited. That's all they knew. That, oh, I'm supposed to have a son to pass on my legacy. That was their, main thought process. Ahmad, you want to add something?
Wait, so is it like basically like all the people there, it's kind of like the leadership, the Prophet Muhammad is leading the Islam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like in a family, he'd be the man of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
then when he goes, they'll need another man of the house, which will be the son of the
Yes.
other one. But since
Yes.
there's no son, then they don't know what to do.
Yes, exactly. That was the thing. But the question is now, did that actually happen? Remember all those people, Abu Lahab, we know that Abu Lahab's name is in the Quran. So we know, we still take his name, although we take it in a very bad way, but we do still take his name. There are a lot of other people who were rejoicing, who were so happy about Prophet ﷺ not able to continue his lineage. They were so happy about it. Do any one of us know them? They had sons. They were so happy and they were so proud that I have 4 sons and Muhammad has no son. Where are those sons now? Are they still here? Anybody taking their name? Anybody from their family still alive? Anybody from Abu Lahab's family still alive?
Yeah, because they're still growing. It's just that I don't know actually.
Yeah, no. The thing is, do we know anybody from Abu Lahab's family nowadays? Like we can say, oh, that was the famous person, Abu Lahab. That person
No.
goes on.
Maybe.
We don't know. Maybe,
Yeah, we don't
yes.
know.
We don't know. They're not there anymore. But do we know people who are still taking Prophet Muhammad's name?
Yeah.
Millions of people.
Believe
Yeah.
me, I taking Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's name right now.
Thousands of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, but what do you mean like by that? Like they're taking his name?
so the thing is, there's one thing called lineage and then the other thing called legacy. Prophet Sallam's lineage did not continue, but his legacy did. Right? He spread Islam and Islam is still here. What matters more, the lineage or the legacy? It doesn't matter if you have somebody.
Legacy?
The legacy matters, right?
Because the legacy is what basically when you're gone, people will carry on your legacy, like when
exactly
the foundation.
Yep, that's exactly what I mean from taking the name. Like, I mean, there are so many other people, non-Muslims, their legacy is still there. People who invented something, we still know them and we're using the stuff that they invented. For example, Edison invented the bulb. So yeah, his legacy is still there. But people who were so happy about it, that Prophet ﷺ does not have a son and we have a son, look at how low their thought was. That's all they cared about. I mean, what exactly was there in their lineage? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Useless people who did nothing to serve this world. They did nothing. They just died. So they're not even there. Nobody knows them. Nobody even knows their names. Yes,
So
Meral?
all they cared about was them having children, but Prophet Muhammad doesn't have as many as some, or like.
Yes, so all they cared about is having children, so their family name continues. That's what they cared about.
Oh, no, but
Mm.
of course his legacy didn't carry on because Abu Lahab was mean, and yeah.
No, I didn't get it. Say that again.
I'm confused right now.
Okay, so what I was trying to say was, one thing is the lineage, the family name. When you have a son, your family name is going to live on. It's going to continue. When you don't have a son, the family name does not continue through daughters. Okay? Because daughters get married to somebody and that's where the lineage continues. And yes, that's true. Prophet Muhammad's lineage did not continue. And Abu Lahab's lineage did continue. But does it matter anymore? What did he do by continuing his lineage? Nothing. Eventually, it died out. The family name, their family name died out. Nobody remembers who now is from Abu Lahab's family. But the thing that really matters is the legacy which Prophet ﷺ had, and that continued. Yes, Ahmed?
Wait, so one more thing. I think another reason, since Prophet Muhammad didn't have a son,
Mm-hmm.
you know how when you get married,
Mm-hmm.
the husband's family name will
Yes.
will do that.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I
So
said.
without, yeah, I was just making sure. So
Mhm.
if there was no boy,
Mm-hmm.
then that family name would change.
Yep, that's right. And what we were moving forward for that was that, Ahmad, the question was, does it matter? If somebody had boys and their family name continued after marriage and other person had girls and the family name never continued, it doesn't matter. Who cares? That's what the point was, because lineage is not important. If it continued today, it's going to die out tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Someday it will die out, one day. And if it doesn't really die out on the day of judgment, when the day of judgment will be there, it's going to certainly die out. So the point is, but legacy does not die. That's the thing. Islam will not die, never. There will always be Muslims in the world until the day of judgment is very near. So this surah came as a consolation to Prophet Muhammad Sallam. Like this surah came to console Prophet Muhammad Sallam, that don't worry, don't be unhappy. And one thing that I usually think, and I'll just share with you, just because, it's good to think about Quran. Prophet ﷺ lost his son, right? And losing a son is very, very painful. People sometimes talk about this stuff. Oh, you don't know what I'm going through. Allah put me all through all this, and Allah gave me this pain. I will never be happier ever again. And some people even go all the way to say, I'm not going to pray to Allah anymore. Allah did this to me. I mean, Prophet ﷺ was the most beloved person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Still, he was tested by losing a child. Not easy at all. If Allah wanted, he would not have tested with this, with Prophet ﷺ. He would have kept his sons alive. He would not have given him son for the first place. Giving and then taking away is painful. But Allah did. Yes, Riz?
My mom usually says that, usually people around the last name Sayyid is usually of his heritage.
Yes. And the way Prophet Muhammad's lineage work is from, I think, Ali radiyallahu anhu and Fatima. So it's still from, because that's what we consider Prophet Muhammad's family, you know, because Ali radiyallahu anhu was also Prophet Muhammad's first cousin. So that's why. So his children are considered what you call Prophet Muhammad's immediate family, but technically speaking, he did not have a son. Okay, so yes, people who are Sayyid, their lineage go all the way back to Hazrat Ali and Fatima. And of course,
But
that is
then-
Prophet Muhammad's family, of course.
So that means that I'm a descendant.
Well, it's just that we have to verify. It is possible that you are, if you are a Sayyid, but you know, after that many years, it's not sometimes very verifiable that it is correct or not. But yeah, there is nothing wrong to be, you know, to be called a Sayyid, or in fact, it's an honor. Some people think that they should, you know, get that verified from somewhere. And I think it's very difficult to get verified. So yeah, they just continued one generation after another. They call themselves Sayyid. So that's good. That's fine. So, but yeah, that goes to Hazrat Fatima. Okay, to answer your question. So the point I was making was that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was tested. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this calamity to him. If Allah wanted, he would not have, you know, he would not have taken away his son, but Allah did. And Allah's wisdom, only Allah knows. But the point here is that if we think that we are going through a lot, you know, there is so much going on, and what happened to me in my life, it has never happened to anyone. So no, that's not the case. Allah has even tested his beloved people. Allah has even sent, you know, sadness and calamities to his beloved people as well, not just those who, you know, who are just not that beloved people, or even those people who don't do that many good deeds. So it is not necessary. That's the point. Allah can test anyone he wants, and only Allah knows the wisdom behind it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested Prophet ﷺ, and look what Prophet ﷺ did. That's one thing that we need to learn. He was not complaining. Allah, why did you take away my son? He did cry. He was crying. And when you ever listen to the story of passing away of Prophet ﷺ's son, like it said that he took him in his lap and he was like kind of smelling him, and the tears were coming out of his eyes. And even somebody even asked Prophet ﷺ, you are crying too? So he said, yes, that's the mercy of Allah. Allah has put mercy in like everybody's heart. So yes. So Prophet ﷺ was extremely sad at that time because of the loss of his beloved son. And how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala consoled him, that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala consoled him. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna. Inna means indeed we.
You know, for some reason, I always think it's weird because, like, in different languages, in Urdu, when we say indeed we, it's like longer than what it says, where it says inna. So,
Yes,
and like,
yes.
and in Chinese, when you say a whole sentence in English, Chinese, it's so much more shorter. In
Shorter.
Chinese, yeah, it sounds so much more shorter.
Yeah,
So
that's
weird.
right. Sometimes, you know, and you know, just like I usually tell you, this word, a'tainaka, for example, this is an entire sentence. You know, this is just one word in Arabic, but when you translate it in English, this is a complete sentence. It has a
Wait.
complete sentence meaning.
That's one whole sentence.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
What?
And I'm gonna tell you that. Okay. So this part, a'tai means gave you or given you. Okay?
But when you're writing the sentence, it will be like, indeed, we have given you.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and I'm gonna just do that operation. You know, I'll do the surgery of this word so you can see how this word has, you know, all three things in there.
You put another we, 'cause then it's gonna be indeed we have.
Yep, exactly. So the reason why I put it there, because this is part of this word. Al-Kauthar, we're gonna just translate as Al-Kauthar. Okay, so let me do that here for you guys. So in a complete sentence in English, you need three things: action, doer, and what I call done to, you know, something that the action happens to. Okay. So if I write this, أعطيناك,
So it's something like so you know how in movies they play music and then the action happens?
again?
You know how in movies you know how in movies they play music and then all the action happens? Is that what you mean?
No, I don't mean that. I simply
know.
mean what it means like by a sentence in, you can say Arabic. I was trying to get a third color right here. Are you gonna give it to me or not? Seriously, you're stubborn. See, now it did. Okay, let's take this.
Your computer is probably just like really laggy.
Okay, so that's the word أعطيناك. The word أعطى means give, to give. Na means we. And ka means you. Okay, so just like I said, a complete sentence is we gave you. That's a complete sentence, right? Yes, Riz?
What you said in the sentence or in the word-to-word translation on the right, it says, "Indeed, we have given you Al-Kauthar." What does Al-Kauthar mean?
You tell me.
It has to be the something. What does Kauthar mean?
Sorry, say that again. There was background noise.
I said it has to mean the something, but what does Kauthar mean?
Anybody knows what is Al-Kauthar? We recite this surah so many times, and we have this name also very common. I'm sure somebody's family might have some Kauthar, you know, somebody named Kauthar. Anybody knows?
I don't know. My mom has like 50 cousins, so like.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, okay, we were coming to that point. And before we come to the word Al-Kauthar, there's another thing. So it simply means, indeed, we have given you Al-Kauthar. Just for the moment, let's see, Al-Kauthar is something, okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to Prophet Muhammad, indeed, we have given you Al-Kauthar. Got it? Okay, first, important, indeed is like for certainty, like, okay, that's certain. The next thing is أعطينا, we gave you or we have given you. So when you say that I will give you, that means that's going to happen in future, right? It may or may not happen. But when you talk in past, saying that, okay, I have given you, that means this is certain, right? So that is one thing in Arabic, that although Prophet ﷺ has not been given Al-Kauthar yet, it's going to happen in Jannah. It didn't happen yet, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used a past tense here. Why? Because that's so certain. And another thing here to note, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we have given you. Not even we gave you. You know, when I give you something, like for example, I gave you a pencil. What is the difference between I gave you and I have given you?
I gave you is past tense, and I have given you is like it could be present or past.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing. So when I give somebody something, I can ask back as well, right? Like I gave you, maybe I just gave you for time being,
Yeah.
right? But if I've given it to you, that means this is yours to keep. This is yours to begin with. That is what given. That's a difference. See, it's such a small difference here, but it makes so much difference. So that's why Arabic is so powerful, that by little things, by making these little changes, the meaning changes. Yes, Miral?
I'm just gonna say Emma's in the washroom, so.
That's fine. You don't have to tell me that. We are kind of recording, so it's fine. Yes, Riz? Riz, do you have something to say?
Yeah. So the what you were just saying about like I have given you, it's yours to keep now. It depends. You can still ask for it back both ways, because when you're saying like you could like form a sentence and you could say, I have given you a pencil. I want it back. Or you could say, I gave you a pencil. I want it back.
Yes.
So technically, if they have given Al-Kauthar, they have given, they can still take it back.
Okay. Yes. So that was my point was that in English, when you say your translation can be somewhat like this, although this kind of means that, you know, the difference between give and given is like, you know, if you have given it to somebody, that means that you have given it for good. That's a general meaning. Yeah. I mean, there can be, you can say that, okay, I can. But when we talk about this word in Arabic, أعطينا, this is not ata, this is أعطينا, which actually means given for good. And also, when we give something just for, you know, for somebody for use, that's a different story. But when we give somebody a gift, that is something even very, very Islamic, that a Muslim would never ask for the gift back. So it's kind of atayna means I gifted you. So gifts are never asked back. It is considered, you know, not nice even in other cultures as well. But Islamically, it is said that as if you are licking your own food, like your own vomit. That's how bad is it. It is, you know, asking the gift back. So so we are talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that I have or we have. So Allah is using this we word most likely because it's the, you know, that's the concept of royal we, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes use the word we for himself. So Allah is saying, we have given you Al-Kauthar. And I think we are out of time. So tomorrow we can start with discussing what, not tomorrow, on Monday, inshallah, we'll start with discussing what Al-Kauthar is. If you guys want, you can do a little research on this and find out what Al-Kauthar is, or ask your mom, okay? And we can...
Can I search it up?
Okay, sure. Search it up and come up with the answer. Let's see, we will start with you on Monday, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
Jazakallah khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta subhanaka. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.